Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another VW show. We'll be doing issue 70 and 71 tonight. Fair bit to do, I think. We're going to be starting the front suspension. So yeah, we've got quite a bit to do. So we're going to do 70, 71. And I'll tell you ahead of time, there'll be no stream next Friday from me. Or the Friday after that. So I'll be having 2 Fridays off because I'll be away at the Norfolk Broads. So yeah, looking forward to that. So I go away on the Friday and then I'm not back till like the following Saturday. So it's 2 Fridays out of the question. So I hope you don't miss me too much, but we're going to do 2 issues tonight, and yeah, that should see us through until I return in a couple of weeks. So glad it's the weekend, bank holiday weekend as well, so we've got the Monday off, so hope you have all a nice bank holiday. But we've got Peter in saying, hi, let's enjoy the build tonight. Thank you very much. Chris says, hi, let's have great builds, and hello, Peter. So hi, Chris, how are you? Dave Mack says, good evening, everyone. Good luck with your build, Alex. Have a great show. Thank you, Dave Mack. Peter says, hi, Chris, hope you're well. Dave Mack says, evening to Lord Peter and Chris. Peter says, hi to Dave Mack. Mark says, good evening, everyone. Hi, Mark, how are you? Peter says, hi to Mark. Dave Mack says, evening to Mark. DS Model says, yeah, hi everyone, hello Horlixs, good luck with your show and build. Thank you very much, Dave. Mark says hi to Peter and to Dave Matt. Dave Matt says, evening to Dave. Peter says hi to Dave S. Stephen Belcher's in. Hi all, hello Stephen. And Stephen says, hello everyone in chat. Sounds like they've just decided to do some road works outside, so I hope you can still hear me. Peter says hi to Stephen. Dave Mack says evening, Stephen. Stephen says hi to Peter. David Bassett says good evening, everyone, and good luck, Horlixs, for tonight's build. Thank you very much, David. Peter says hi to David Bassett. David Bassett says evening to Dave Mack Builds. Dave says hi to David Bassett. David Bassett says evening to Lord Peter Webster. David Bassett says hello to Mark Smugs, to Dave and DS Models. David Bassett says evening to Crafty Chris. Mark says evening to David Bassett. Peter says loud and clear here, good. Yeah, I think I've got the noise suppression on. No. I can turn it on. I wonder if that's any better. This is ridiculous. Why are they doing this now? And Stephen says hi to Dave Matt Builds. I need to see what's going on because they're literally, I think, digging the road up. Yes, they are. All along the other side of the road. In fact, I'm going to close the window. Oh dear. Okay, so I think they're installing the new. Do you remember, like a few months ago or last year? I mean, they were doing they blocked our driveway off because they dug a trench because they were installing all the new super fast fibre stuff. And we were supposed to have got it, but we couldn't get it in the end because. In order to get the line from the trench that they're digging in the road along the street, they wanted to dig our driveway up to get to the house. However, if they did that, it would be down to the landlord to replace the driveway. And it was going to cost him thousands. So he said no. So we didn't end up with it. It's ridiculous. So Stephen says hi to Dave Mack Builds. David Bassett says roadworks everywhere, Horlixs. Driving 24/7 railway works just outside. Oh God, I feel you. I mean, this will probably be going on for days as well. Dave Max is still here, and David says, have an open reach and Thames water digging up everywhere. Yeah. Well, this is Eastbourne Lightning Fibre that are digging up the road here. So they did our side of the road. Now they're doing the opposite side of the road. So could be worse. They could be, and because we've got our driveway isn't officially a driveway, we haven't got a drop curb, so they didn't put us ramps down or allow us access. So we couldn't park the cars on our drive for a week while they did it, and I had to find a place up the road, and they refused because they said it's not officially a park. You haven't got a parking space. There's no drop curbs, so we're not doing you a ramp. But a few of the houses down have got drop curbs, but they just wouldn't do it for us because we're right on the junction. So they wouldn't do it even if we tried, even asked them. Anyway, enough of that. Let's go down and we'll start building. Need some light on the situation. There we go. So we're doing issue 70 first. And this is the, starting on the front suspension. So in this issue, you'll begin assembly of the front suspension of the Samba bus by mounting it and fitting the suspension bump stops. So yeah. So parts included are '71, which is the front suspension lower tube, which I believe is this one here. And I know this because it's got a piece sticking out there. I'll try and get some light on the situation. There we go. So we can match that up with the picture. So that's 71. We got 72, which is the upper tube. Okay. Then we've got 73, which is the right bump stop. Is there any markings, I wonder? No, there's not, but that is the right one because of the shape. You can tell by the picture. This will be the left one. 75 is the steering damper body, which is this piece here. And then we've got some BD04 screws. Oh. Okay, now we can start assembly. So the first job is to place the steering damper body in the front suspension lower tube 71 in the position shown. Okay, so it's going here like so. Secure with a BD04 screw. So I think it's probably best to try and line that up. Okay, now I'm not going to do that too tight for the moment. I'm going to leave that flapping in the wind because I don't know where it's got to line up to, where it's going to be fitting. But once we know, I can tighten that up if need be. So that is that on. That's that part done. Okay. Next thing is to examine the front suspension upper tube 72, which is the other part here. Each side of the part is identified by a letter L for the left side and R for the right side. So yeah, we've got L here and R that side. The bump stops also bear a letter indicating the side. Oh, it does. Oh yeah, I didn't see them. They're right on the top in plain sight. Okay, so fit the left bump stop into the slot on the left side of the unit. So that's going to go in there like so. Repeat the same process with the right bump stop and ensure the assembly is shown ensure that the assembly is as shown in the picture. So that looks good to me. It's going to go like that. And then fit the two parts of the suspension together, shown in the direction shown in the picture. Okay, so they've turned this round. Let me just get my bearings here. So that's going to go on. Line them up. There we go, perfect. It's going to look something like that. And this part here that we fitted is going to be facing away from the direction of the bump stops. Or is it? No. Got it the wrong way round. See, that's really confusing. They're towards you, that's towards you. That goes on there like, ah, yeah, okay. Well, this is tricky. Actually, I've just realised, actually, this will only go on one way because I'll show you in a sec when I get this lined up. This is really quite difficult. Line them up. Come on, stay in place. Just wants to. Okay, no. So that is going to face the direction of the bump stops. Right, so, and I'm happy with that. If we look at the picture here, we can see how that's going to look. And it does only go up one way because you'll see these screw holes here. These will only fit one way. And then it says next secure them with 2 BDO4 screws. So we want one down here and one the other side. For now, I expect we'll probably add the other ones in. Yeah, you've really got to be careful with this build and really look at the pictures. And so that's one side in. And that's the other side in. So that's the 2 screws in at the bottom there. And we're going to put the other 2 in. Insert 2 more BD04 screws in the supports on the back of the 2 pieces. Right, yeah. So we're going to do that. Same again. So we had 2 steps for putting the screws in. Okay. And I can still get access to that if I want to tighten that up. We might just give it a little bit of a tighten just so there's still some movement. There we go. Okay. And that is the result of the front suspension assembly after this first session. Nice. There's people tooting outside now and all sorts. Okay, so let me go through some more chat. David Bassett says, got the railway line realignment. Oh, got the railway line realignment because of the HS2 going on until the end of October here, and more to come over the next few years. Countryside is being ripped to pieces for a vanity white elephant project. And then some angry faces. Yeah, Dave Matt says that's really sad, David, ripping up the countryside for something like that. Yeah. Lee says hi to Alex. Hi Lee, how are you? Lord Peter says hi to Lee. Lee says Alex got a new airbrush, well happy with it. Awesome. Yeah, I'm really happy with the one that I got sent from Peter. You know, I've only used it a couple of times, but it's going to be invaluable when I start the Bedford. So yeah, I'm really happy with mine. David Bassett says, Danno Builds is heartbreaking. The woods where Roald Dahl wrote Fantastic Mr. Fox just outside Wendover have been totally obliterated. Just one of many acts of destruction. Yeah. Lord Peter says, did you get a strange tank system or constantly pumping system, Lee? Dave Matt says, it's also so wrong, David, for a HS2. David Bassett says, hi Lee, Anfield Road layout in the loft. And David Bassett says, Aylesbury was promised a link from Milton Keynes have said. David Bassett says, Aylesbury was promised a link off the new East-West Railway from Milton Keynes, but it's been shelved. Okay. So that being done, let's move on then to some exciting stuff. Now there is quite a lot of parts in this issue. Oh, so hopefully it will all go well. So 71. Front suspension and fitting the left front wheel. With the parts supplied with this issue, you will continue assembly of the front suspension and fit the previously assembled left front wheel. Okay. So this is good, using up some of the parts that we did right at the beginning of the build. Well, they're in there nicely. They're stuck in. Ah, good. These are metal parts. That isn't. But these are. That's plastic, that's plastic. That's plastic. Spring. And then it looks like we've got a couple of washers under here. So a couple of washers. Okay, so 71.1 is the left upper suspension arm. And that is that piece there. I'll say that's made of metal. Left lower suspension arm, and again, that is made of metal. 71.3 is the shock absorber body, which is this part here. 4 is the shock absorber shaft, which is this part here. 5 is the spring, and that's a really stiff spring. And then we've got 6, which is the suspension arm washers, which were these two parts here. 7 is the steering rack. So there'll be some sort of cog, I guess, that will run on this. And as the cog turns, it will move this up and down. So that's really cool. We've got 8, which is the steering plate, which is this plastic piece here. And then we've got 2 lots of screws. We've got BP10 and BD06. So we've got BP10 and BD06. So yeah, quite a lot of things to do in this issue. BD06, BP10. Okay. And then we've got a blown up assembly diagram of all the components we're going to try and get together. As you can see, it looks a bit intense there. So step 1, fit the shock absorber on the support of the left lower suspension arm in the position shown in the picture. Secure the strut to the arm with a BD06 screw. Okay, so let's have a look at this then. So we've got this part here, and then this is going to go on here. I've got a little bit of flash or something in there, so let's just remove that. See, the hole's blocked. There we go. So that's going to go on there like so. I'm going to get some oil because we're going to be using a metal screw. And then we're going to secure those two together. So I'm just going to put a little bit of oil on that screw just to help that go in. Okay, that's on there for the moment. It's stiff, but it's still got some movement at the moment until we know what's coming up. Retrieve the front suspension assembly from the previous session and fit the lower suspension arm onto the left side support of the assembly, indicated with an arrow in the picture. Then secure the lower arm with a BP10 screw. So, okay. Let me just make sure the orientation is correct on this. So we're going to be working this way. Yes. We're on the left side. Yes. And then that's going to fit on there. Okay, like that. And then a BP10 screw. I'm just trying to work this picture out, make sure I'm getting it in the right way. That's like that. This is actually really complicated. The image doesn't. I have got this the right way, haven't I? So that, yeah, it's going that way. We are on the left side. Then it's asking for that to go on like that. Okay, yeah, that's good. Just had to think about that for a moment. And then we're gonna secure that in with a BP10 screw. And then we look a bit like that. Okay. Step 3 is to place the shock absorber spring onto the shaft on here. So that's going to go on like that. Carefully examine the shock absorber body where the support is off center and then fit it over the spring, positioning it as shown in the picture. Okay, so you can see the end looks different. So we're going to want it that way. Secure the shock absorber to the suspension support with a BP10 screw. Does that look right? That looks right to me. And we do have some movement. Now I've loosened that screw a little bit. And then we'll get another BP10 screw. Okay, I think that seems to be suspensioning okay. Lovely. Okay. Next, we're going to fit the upper left suspension arm and secure it with a BP10 screw. So that will go up on that one. I'll just loosen them a little bit because there needs to be a bit of movement on them, I think. And then we're going to retrieve the left front wheel and position it as shown in the picture. Place the spindle between the suspension arms and setting its supports in the holes of the arms. Okay, so here is the wheel. And it does say L on that bracket. So if you get confused which side's what, well, you can look at that. Okay, note. This has got a typo again. It says retrieve the left front wheel and position it as shown in the picture. Place the spindle between the suspension arms. So the text is correct, but it's showing this outer, the steering connector is telling us to put that in there, when in fact it's this one underneath. Because as you can see, it's never going to work like that if you put that in there. So we're going to pop that under there and down there like so. I'm then going to tighten that up. Now I've got it in position a little bit. Okay. We still look good. I'm still checking ahead and making sure everything looks good. Insert one of the washers into the upper arm housing. So up the top there. Like so. And secure it with a BD06 screw. So these are metal again. So I'm going to get some oil on my screw. And then we're going to secure that. And we still have movement. That's good. Finally, place the other washer into the lower arm housing and secure the parts with the BD06 screw. Okay. So same again. I'm going to pop this in that recess at the bottom and secure that into place. Perfect. Just checking we've still got some movement, which we should have because of the washer. Yes, look at that. You know, I mean, there is minimal wobble on the wheels like all of the models, but that's good. And that'll be connected to the steering rack. I mean, it may be a case that I tweak these later on and loosen them up until I get it feeling how I want it to feel. But the suspension seems to work. There's a bit of spring on there, and I'm happy with that result. Okay. It then says view of the front suspension assembly with the arms and left wheel fitted. And then it says carefully store the steering rack and plate for a later assembly session. So I will put these, I'm not sure they're going to fit in here. Probably not. So I'm going to store the what I can in there. Got BP10 screw, BD06. So we got a new screw, BD06. Let me get the labeler out. BD06. Perfect. And now we have a slot for that. And that is the build complete for this week. So let me come back. There we go. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Again, just, you know, I made a little mistake, but take your time. It's quite confusing. Just, you know, takes as long as it takes. Take as long as you need to make sure it's all going in the right place, and try and look. You know, my tip would just be look ahead of the mags, like most of us do anyway, just to try and work out and get the pictures from different angles, so we know it's all sat in the right place. But I'm happy with that, and that's gone really nicely. So. I believe the next week, I've only got one more issue here, but I will have another delivery by the time I get back. So I believe we'll be doing all that again on the other side, and then I'm guessing potentially attaching that to the front of the chassis, I guess. So David Bassett says, chucking it will rain here, even higher powers are sad for this area. Yeah. Lord Peter says, getting close to a rolling chassis now, Alex. Yeah, can't wait. David Bassett says, hi, Dave Matt. The worst part of HS2 is only going from Old Oak Common to Curzon Street in Birmingham. Useless. Dave Mack says, that is useless, David. David Bassett says, sorry for the rant, folks. The camper van is awesome. Did anyone see Wayne Green's shirt on his live stream last night? The website he got it from has at least one VW camper van, one camper van Hawaiian shirt. Well, that looks cool. Sounds cool. Todd says, hello, good evening. All. Hi, Todd. How are you? Hope you're well. Peter says, hi to Todd. David Bassett says, evening to Todd. Marvel Picks. That's Marvel Picks. Marvel Phoenix. Lee says, hi to Todd. Peter Webster says, I thought the washers had to fit on the suspension first. Yeah, let's have a look. I'm sure it doesn't. No, it definitely, well, what I'm seeing here, unless the mag's wrong, which it could be because we've seen some mistakes, it's showing you put them into the recess in the top. And then you put the screw through that, which is what I've done, and it seems to fit okay. And the same for that side. It just seems to fit okay. Same for the other side. Just push the washer. You've got like a recessed hole. It fits in nicely. And then you put the screw through. So David Bassett says, great work, Horlixs. It's certainly progressing now. I think it will look fantastic when finished. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I might see if I can start modding it. You know what I'm like with electronics. We'll be doing all sorts with it. It'll probably be Bluetooth. It'll probably play some tunes. Maybe could have like the Surfing USA tune pumping out of it or something. Lee says, good stream, big thumbs up. Thank you. Dave Max says, a nice work, Alex. Won't be long before another wheel is done and put on the chassis. Great show. Big thumbs up. Thank you, Dave Matt. David Bassett says, don't forget to hit the like button, folks. It was 11 in chat, but only 6 have the button. Yeah, thank you, David. So, right, what's going on then? As far as I'm aware, I don't know if anything's planned for the weekend. Keep an eye on the channels. Links are in the description below. Monday we will have Crafty Chris and Julie with the Doll's House at 7, and then I believe Geordie's back Monday for the Titanic, but I may be wrong. Tuesday will be Eddie Stobart at 7 o'clock. And that's where I'll go up to, because I don't know what else is going on in the week. So as I say, I won't be here now for another 2 weeks. As I say, I'm going away to the Norfolk Broads. So really looking forward to that. So I go away I leave next Friday after work. I'll be leaving work and going to Brighton, where I'll be staying there with my ex's parents. And then from there I'm driving, I believe, driving us to the Norfolk Broads, where we get our accommodation for the week, which is a boat. 10-sleeper one. It's got a kitchen, fully fitted kitchen, toilet, shower, everything. 10 beds. Where we can just hit the waterways and then just relax. And I'll be back. I think I'll head back on the following Saturday, so say 2 weeks' time from now. So yeah. David Bassett says, have a great time in Norfolk Broads. Alex, thank you very much. Dave Matt says, have a great holiday. Thank you. Stephen says, have a good break. Thank you very much. And David Bassett says, I've only got a few days in Great Malvern from the 4th to the 8th of September. Oh, that's cool. Good show, Alex. Enjoy your holiday. Don't forget the postcard. Thanks, Chris. Well, maybe. I'm not sure there'd be a post box on the waterways. But no. Yeah, that's it from me. I'm going to go now. Have a great bank holiday weekend, whatever you're up to. And yeah. See you when if there's a Titanic on Monday, I shall see you for that with Geordie Dave. And then that's it. So, good night, everyone. As I say, good weekend. Thank you all for being here. And I will see you later. So, bye.
You've been knocked down and got up again. In a corner, you're surrounded, no defenders. You've hit your fury and kept it in. But it's time now, you ignite and turn to embers. Like a fire. attention.